r/AskReddit. What is the stupidest thing you've done just to show you could do it? I'm always trying to hook future me up so life can be a bit easier rather than a constant slog. If I get stuff done now, then I can relax a bit more in the future, and that really makes me motivated to keep pushing. Let a friend taste me in the but for 1,000 pesos, about 30 US cents LMAO. Edit. Colombian pesos. $1 today equals 3,722 Colombian pesos. When you get taste in the ass for 30 cents, you're doing it for the kink, not the money. Hey papi. My friends and used to have those breathing contests in the pool, where you go underwater and see who could hold in their breath the longest. I'm a really competitive person, so of course I won. I passed out in the pool when I was 9 doing this. The lifeguard was too busy flirting to care, and he thought I was faking it. Edit. Typo. Holy shit, did you survive? Walked through the brush of archery line to get a football to prove it wasn't poison ivy. I did it. I got the football. It was poison ivy. I once did something similar, but it turns out I'm immune to poison ivy. I told my 6th grade friends I could just off a 2-story roof and not get hurt. Guess who only got a scraped knee that day? Not me. I broke my leg. Parkour people, on the other hand, can do a safety roll and be mostly unharmed aside from some mild pain. I wonder if they learned it from playing Ocarina of Time. Edit. Thanks for the award. In 2001, my sister got me a Sony phone, a tiny little thing with a flip down front. She worked in a phone shop and got discount. On the box, it said the phone was waterproof and there were tiny rubber seals in places. I believed them. At the pub where I worked, this aspect came up in conversation. Some guy said the phone couldn't be waterproof and that showerproof was probably more accurate. Remembering the box, I argued the point and dropped my phone into a pint of beer in an effort to prove it. I was wrong. Brutal but well earned life lesson. Cliff diving. Saw a old man do a front flip off a 40-foot cliff. I said if he can do it, so can I. I did the flip alright, followed by a belly flop that Zeus could hear. Knocked the air out of me, but luckily people were floating nearby to save my dumbass. Not me, but one of my former co-workers told us about the time he ate a tub of butter on a dare. He made it about halfway through and had to throw up. He said what came out was neon yellow. For the next month, the smell of butter made him gag, and when he perspired, he could still smell it. You'd think he'd learn, but he attempted the butter tub challenge a second time. This time, he paced himself and actually finished the whole thing. He said the F up though was eating it before having to catch a train. While he was waiting, his heart was racing, and he felt so amped up, he did push-ups and jumping jacks at Penn Station. Ate the largest box of goldfish in one night in college. Don't do this. Oh my god, I thought this was talking about real goldfish. Shoved my pointer finger into my nose up to second knuckle. I then got a sinus infection. Who knew? My daughter did that to me when she was 2. Then she hooked her finger and pulled. Had a terrible blood nose, and for a few days, if I sneezed it would start back up. 0/10 would not recommend. Remained standing through as much taser as possible. My friend used up the battery on himself and said he was trying to get used to it. He said that eventually he would be able to remain standing. I said what the hell and tried. It's not easy fighting electroconvulsive action. We tasted ourselves and each other a bunch of times. I don't think we got better at resisting it. I say taser bit, I really mean stun gun, no prongs. Tell me more about tasting yourselves. Was trying to do this stunt on a dirt bike to impress this dude. Ended up falling and breaking my collarbone. RIP. And then you guys got married, right? He's married now with kids. And well me, I'm still single. I was learning MMA for 3 months when some guy challenged me to a fight. I immediately accepted it because I wanted to impress my crush by beating him. Turns out he was a national champion and was in the state for a MMA tournament. I got my ass kicked for solid 3 rounds. Not me, but my dad's friend. They were all sitting around being dumb drunk rednecks. And one of them was like, I betcha I can get this entire beer can down in one of them their Coke bottles. Then proceeded to do it by shredding the can by hand. cutting his fingers to shat in the process. But damn it, he got it all in there, piece by stupid piece. I was about 4 years old and my grandfather was making something with buttermilk. I saw it in his hand, and I cried and screamed and begged to have some. He kept saying no, you won't like it, but I persisted. He finally poured me an entire glass. I took one swig, and I'm sure he could see the disgust on my face, because he looked like he had one. I stared at him right in his eyeballs as I chugged the entire glass. Chug an entire bottle of cheap wine in like 20 seconds. But thanks anyway to the neighbor who almost called 911 when I threw up blood. Not blood, just bad decisions. Many hot sauce related things. I downed half a fifth of Jagger in one go because everyone said I could not do it. Ended up falling in a river outside my apartment having a smoke midwinter in Michigan. Washed down about a quarter mile before I could grab onto something to get out. Made my way back home. Nobody had any idea until I walked in soaking wet in frozen clothes. It was about that time I passed the F out on the floor. Looking back, they probably should have taken me to hospital. Lol. Stuck my tongue to a metal pole on the playground in the dead of winter. To my credit, I had not yet seen A Christmas Story and my friend's older brother had just said, "Don't put your tongue on that," and not in a warning tone. More of a you won't tone. We all now know what the result is when you put a tongue to a metal pole in the dead of winter. My tongue instantly stuck to the pole. I was stunned. To make matters worse, the morning recess bell rang. In a panic I grabbed my tongue and ripped it off. Blood was everywhere. Fast forward a quick trip to the hospital, and I got to eat pudding for a week straight. Crushing beers on my forehead. Still stupid. I'll still do it. Both times were to impress a lady. First one was I picked up a 2 to 3 foot long gopher snake. I successfully grabbed it, but it also bit the F out of me. The second one, I still get anxiety sometimes when I think about it, but I was drunk as F and with a girl I really liked, and for some reason the subject of climbing this parking garage came up, and I felt the need to show everyone that we were with that you could indeed climb the building from a single pipe on the side. I then without warning immediately began my ascent and was already a floor up before my friends could stop me. I then proceeded to climb all 5 stories using the wall and the pipe. Topped out to all the people we were with freaking out, and then my best friend slapped the shat out at me. Good times, but that could have been bad. I used to work at a shatty movie theater. As it gets to midnight, all the employees hang out behind the concessions counter and shoot the shat, eat the popcorn before we have to throw it out, etc. One of them dared someone to do a butter shot. But like, the liquid butter for popcorn is way closer to straight oil. So an oil shot. I'm always a slut for attention, so I said pass it to me, and I downed it without letting myself think about the consequences. It tasted like liquid plastic, and I hated it, but everyone was howling and incredulous, and I felt cool for a whole minute. Shat my brains out the next morning. Worth it. Edit. Spelling edit 2. I wake up to an award. My first. What a thing to see on my day off. Thanks you awesome losers. I'd like to thank my impulsive nature and God and also Jesus and. Edit 3. GOLD. Question mark? 82% of my body weight in chicken nuggets. My partner was a heavy smoker, and at the time, I'd never touched a cigarette. I would subtly and sometimes not so subtly, but always lovingly urge her to quit. She told me I had no idea how hard it was. I decided to take up smoking for about a month and then quit, just to show her I could do it. That was 10 years ago. I'm on a pack a day. She no longer smokes. I intentionally got addicted to cigarettes in college to prove my roommate I could quit. Worked my way up to about a half pack a day in a little over a month, and then quit cold turkey to win a case of beer. Unlike that other guy way up there,